Okay, guys, looks like we are live, and we are going to be covering the Aaron Gordon trade. And this is something that we kind of knew was going to happen, and Denver was heavily rumored to be after Aaron Gordon because the fit makes so much sense, obviously, because Aaron Gordon, yes, he can play on ball, but that's not necessarily how you want him. You kind of want him as the fourth or fifth best player in your rotation, where you can have Nikola Jokic kind of driving your offense, Aaron Gordon playing a little bit off of him. We know that Aaron Gordon is going to be able to play that 4 spot possibly, and they're going to be able to roll out Nikola Jokic. They're going to be able to roll out Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., and Jamal Murray all in the same lineup, and it will honestly be very flexible. It will have a nice fit. So I love this landing spot for Aaron Gordon. And of course, we are going to be talking about it in the context of fantasy basketball. So before we get into that, I just want to thank everybody for coming out to this live stream. I'm going to continue to make these live streams every single time we have a significant trade happen. That way I can give you all my instant reaction, and we can talk about the impact for the team that is trading for the player as well as the team that is losing the player. And I think that we are going to see a decent amount of stuff here. But before we talk about anything, let me pull this stream up on my phone. That way I can make sure the audio is fine, because the first stream that we had today, the audio got all messed up and kind of ruined the video. So I do not want that to happen again. Okay, let's see this. Let's drop a like on the stream as we do it. Okay, so that looks good. Also, I see that we already have 6 likes on the live stream. Thank y'all all so much who have decided to come out here and drop a like. But anyway, Joseph asking what happened with Norman Powell. Okay, Norman Powell was traded to the Trailblazers. We already did that in a video, so not really going to cover that right here. I will say, guys, we're going to try to stick it just to the Aaron Gordon trade. We're going to be doing video by video, diving deep into these trades rather than making just one video where we briefly talk about all of them. So please don't ask me about a different trade that we are not currently discussing, just because you can probably find that information in a separate video. And let's go through, let's pull up what the official trade was here. And this official trade ended up being Gary Harris, RJ Hampton, and a first-round pick for Aaron Gordon. Now, obviously, the Orlando Magic at this point are on full-on rebuild mode. They are full-on just getting rid of pretty much every asset that they can for future value. We saw this with the Nikola Vucevic trade, as well as the Evan Fournier, and now with Aaron Gordon. So here, I understand people kind of thought that they were going to be able to get a little bit more for Aaron Gordon than they actually did, but you also have to understand how contracts play into this. So here, let's just break down the individual pieces that we saw moved in this deal, where Gary Harris so far this season has averaged 31 points a game. Yes, he is injured. He is going to be out. I'm sorry, not 31 points, 31 minutes. And yes, he's injured. He's going to be out until about early April, but that was a recent report for the Denver Nuggets. Now that he's traded to a team that really is not playing for anything this season, I would expect that we do not have Gary Harris back for a decent amount of time. And in those 31 minutes, he really has not been providing you with anything. I mean, he's only averaging 10 points a game. He's only averaging 2.5 rebounds, 2 assists. And then if we go over to RJ Hampton, also a player that really doesn't do a whole lot here. I mean, RJ Hampton was only averaging 10 minutes a game so far in 2021. So the pieces moving out of Denver, they're not necessarily opening up a ton of production from a fantasy basketball sense. Yes, they are going to be able to be impact type guys for the Magic, a team that at this point kind of desperately needs players as they traded everyone that they have away. But the main piece in the deal and the main impact is going to be Aaron Gordon leaving this Magic rotation, going into Denver with his 30 minutes a game so far, 15 points a game, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. And now I will say Aaron Gordon for the Magic was playing a completely different role than what I'm expecting him to play for the Denver Nuggets, where on the Magic he was kind of being asked to generate a little bit more offense. He was kind of being asked to have the ball in his hands a little more, and this is not what you want for Aaron Gordon. This is not what you expect. I think now when he is going to Denver, we are going to see him playing a little bit more off ball, playing a little bit more in the pick and roll game, rather than trying to generate his offense on his own, because we know Nikola Jokic as well as Jamal Murray can do such a good job of that, and Michael Porter Jr. at the same time. So I will say this trade, I think, is going to end up negatively impacting both Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., and honestly, Aaron Gordon to go along with it. Now, Aaron Gordon is going to be seeing a drop in most likely assist. Also going to be seeing a drop as well in his overall field goal attempts. So regardless of if you're playing in a points league or a category league, you don't like to hear those two things. And also, I will say that if we're referring to points leagues or category leagues, I guess you could make the argument for Aaron Gordon going to Denver that it's going to help his efficiency. It should help his overall field goal percentage, as well as him seeing just a few less turnovers because he's going to be asked to do less with the ball. So that's going to be something that we need to just point out for the people playing in those category formats, where maybe you're a team that is trying to build a little bit more around just having an efficient player rather than a player with a ton of volume. And in that case, I think that we could look at this deal being okay. I would say it's neutral at best, just because you're going to see the drops elsewhere, where with Jamal Murray and with Michael Porter Jr., I think this is where you're going to see a significant fall off, because Jamal Murray right now is playing 36 minutes a game. And I understand he does not play the same position of Aaron Gordon, but having a player of this caliber coming in that is kind of flexible, where you can put him around, you can move him around in the rotation, I think what we are going to end up seeing is the Denver Nuggets are just going to be playing Jamal Murray a little bit less every night. I think we see this 36 minutes a game drop down to 33, because there's no reason for Jamal Murray to be racking up that many minutes played in a season where they are playing so many back-to-backs. And we understand that, yes, I understand Nikola Jokic does drive a lot of that offense, which should help the fact that even if Jamal Murray is playing 36 minutes a game, he may not necessarily have to just have a complete burden on his back. But still, at the same time, the minutes should go down. And while he's on the court, I think we are also going to end up seeing the assist slightly go down. I think we're going to end up seeing the field goal attempts go down and the rebounds as well, just because Aaron Gordon, while I'm not saying he's better than Jamal Murray, he is going to make a difference. Nobody can deny that fact. So please understand that, as well as with Michael Porter Jr. Yes, he has been coming on a little bit more as of late, and it has been exciting, but still, Aaron Gordon is going to impact him as well, where Michael Porter Jr. on the season is averaging 30 minutes a game, 16 points a game, 7.5 rebounds. And I will say with Porter Jr., maybe we could even see his efficiency go higher. He's already an efficient player to begin with, not really generating any turnovers, because he is not going to be asked to generate offense on his own. He's kind of playing a little bit more as the off-ball guy in this rotation when you have the other players that can generate the offense. So here, I think Aaron Gordon very much helps this overall Denver Nuggets team, but we have to understand we're looking at this from a fantasy basketball perspective. And because the fact that he is dynamic, he can kind of slide around in the rotation, take away minutes from different positions, I think that he's going to hurt both Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. Nikola Jokic, on the other hand, I think his role is completely safe in this rotation, as crazy as that sounds. I mean, he is going to be someone that they are going to look to continue to have as their generator of offense, because he is so good at finding the open man. And I think Aaron Gordon is going to be playing a little bit more off ball, with Nikola Jokic still having the possession the majority of time. All right. But anyway, let me go through and let me see if we have any questions regarding this trade in the general chat. I'm not going to be answering questions with other trades, just because I can go through and I can make those different live streams. So we'll be doing that later tonight. This will probably be our last live stream of this hour, because this is our third already. So let me see if we have any other questions. Also, I see that we've had over 10 likes on the live stream. Thank y'all so much, guys. Okay, so now let's go through, and Herschel's saying he has both Fournier and Aaron Gordon. Yeah, man, not gonna lie, I don't like today for you. I think that's pretty bad on both ends. Okay, so Not Beaming likes this trade for the Magic. I like what the Magic are doing, just pushing all their chips in one direction. I really hate when teams just kind of stay put and they don't necessarily go into rebuild, or they don't necessarily go into contender. And obviously the Magic were going to have a very difficult path of going towards being those contenders. So I like the fact that they are at the very minimum looking to build towards the future. Okay, so let's go through, and Zach asking where are we thinking Lonzo is headed. We are going to be answering that question in a live stream later on. Okay, so let's go through, and Jason asking, is Aaron Gordon a drop in a 6-man points league? I'll say yes, it hurts him. Yes, in a six-man league, obviously, the hurdle for being on the roster is going to be a lot higher, but no, you can't drop him. I think at the very minimum, you have to wait 2 weeks to see what the minutes played in the rotation looks like, as well as how many shots he's going to be putting up a game. Jason also saying, love you, bro. You've been killing it lately with the videos. Thank you so much, my dude. I'm going to continue live streaming for y'all very often. I mean, y'all have been smashing that like button. Y'all have been subscribing to the channel like crazy, and I truly appreciate it. Okay, so now let's go through, and Nick asking, would you rather have Aaron Gordon or Kevin Porter Jr.? Now, that is a decent question. Okay, real quick, let's pull up the recent production that we have had for both Aaron Gordon and Kevin Porter Jr., where I've given you all the season-long numbers for Aaron Gordon, but let's look at the last 30 days in particular, and let's search both of these players up. So Aaron Gordon has only played 6 games in the past 30 days, but those 6 games have not necessarily been too exciting. We know that so many variables are going to be changing there, though, so it's not too important to focus in on that. I would kind of rather focus in on Michael Porter Jr. And like I said at the beginning of the live stream, we went over his season-long numbers, but he's been heating up as of late. And over the past 30 days, we've seen Michael Porter Jr. play 33 minutes a game. That should slightly go down, but during those minutes, he's averaging 58% from the field. He's averaging 9.5 rebounds, 19 points, and 3 3-point shots made a game. So personally, I would prefer Michael Porter Jr. Also, the fact that he is not having to make that transition. He already has that role in his rotation. So yeah, I'm going to be going with Michael Porter Jr. All right, now thank you guys for all coming out to the live stream. Thank y'all all for dropping likes on the stream. I truly appreciate it. And yeah, I'll be going live again tonight with separate videos breaking down every trade that happens. I hope to see y'all there.